Hi there. Happy Monday. So, yes, it's freezing in my house right now, but anyway, quick daily caller article. I will post the link in the description box as always. But basically, most of you probably are familiar with Linda Sarsour, a woman who has direct ties to the Muslim Brotherhood, who puts herself out there as a champion of women. But now look, as the name hits the headlines with her being accused of enabling the alleged sexual assault and harassment of a woman who worked for the feminist activist. Let's see. There were allegations that this woman was groped and had unwanted touching, and she brought this to Sarsour's attention because Sarsour is the executive director of the Arab American Association. But in response, Sarsour just basically brushed her off and body shamed her. I'm paraphrasing again. The link is in the description box for you. So this woman says that she was in an unsafe and abusive environment, and that she wanted people to know that Sarsour, who puts herself on this pedestal of women's rights and empowerment, deserves to know how she really treats people. So this was a 37-year-old woman. She was raised in a Muslim household in New York, and she started working at the Arab American Association in New York in 2009. She says that what happened was there was a man who would come up behind her while she was working, and he would stalk her. She said that he would sneak up on me during times when no one was around. He would touch me. You could hear me scream at the top of my lungs. And he would pin her up against the wall and rub his crotch on me. It seemed like this happened a lot. Now, I don't want to victim blame. I do not. I'm not calling this person a liar. I'm not going to victim blame. But I am going to say this. Okay, if there is a person that does this just one time, you can be caught off guard. And perhaps, people do get caught off guard. My recommendation is for any woman, man, person, to have a plan of action. When you're past that first initial shock and awe of whatever just happened, you should entertain the thought in your head what would happen next time. She says that she was the youth program director, and she would have to bend down once in a while, and sometimes she would stand up and she would feel that he would have like his erect crotch behind her, and she didn't want to scream because there would be a child in front of her. My recommendation, all she would have had to do, and I guarantee you she would have only had to do it one time, was to turn around, and perhaps even with a smile on her face, because that would really kind of fuck him up, is to grab hold really hard and squeeze like you were trying to fucking make diamonds. Okay? I guarantee you that would be the absolute last time that situation would ever happen. Yes, it would be the last time that situation would ever happen. Just saying. Okay, so basically she goes in and she tells Sarsour the story, and Sarsour tells her that she's a liar because something like this wouldn't happen to a woman who looked like her. I probably tend to believe this woman, It's sad to me that all these women that are supposed to be feminists, seem so very anti-feminist. They really are. They're anti-feminist. They're pro-abortion. Murderous people who really don't like women whatsoever. And all they do is kind of like make women look frail and weak instead of like really giving women good advice. What is that saying? Teach a man to give a man a fish and feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish and feed him for a lifetime. Practical help or advice needs to go out, and not just, like my whole grab 'em by the crotch thing advice. Not just all these, you do have to call people out on things, but at the time, deal with it at the time. Be aggressive. Like, be aggressive. How do you teach someone who's not really aggressive to be aggressive? I don't know. Okay, so again, link in the description box. It's, just yet another story. Another story against, that includes the sexual allegations. She told me I'd never work in New York City ever again. And this is why people don't do things like that. They fear for their jobs and stuff. Again, think ahead of time. Have your recording device on you. There are so many different ways to document certain things. I totally am an advocate for doing that. And then if you want to say, well, these women and these men, their religion and this and that, someone ought to teach these people, okay, like everybody else, the separation of church and state. And if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. Biggest problem in our leftist lunatic world today is they like to separate who gets the rights. They just like to separate that. Like, no, everybody gets that same privilege or nobody gets it. I'm okay if nobody gets it. Fuck it. But you're not going to get a privilege that I don't get. And if you get the privilege, then I get it too. I mean, that's my compromise. Anyway. Okay, everybody have a great day. And, I'll leave you with that mug right there. What's that fucking fist supposed to be? God, these people just drive me crazy. Okay, happy Monday. Bye.